it's one thing to penalize somebody for the game, but how do you penalize them for a game that hasn't been played yet? It's very unfair. You can't do that. So, yes, I asked for a review by FIFA.
Is there a more corrupt, pathetic, anti-sport, anti-fair play, utterly contemptuous organisation than FIFA? First they hand the Peace Prize out to Donald Trump, or whoop-de-doo. Then they destroy the rules of the game on the say-so of the president of the host country who hasn't got a clue what he's on about.
Donald Trump, why are you interfering with the World Cup? Last I checked, your country doesn't have health care. Your citizens can barely afford to eat. Your citizens can barely afford to breathe air, let's be real. I think you have more important things to do than try to buy or bribe your way into a World Cup.
I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden. Biden was asleep. I got him to do it. In fact, it was very sad because I got him to do it. And if the progression was normal, I would have been retired now. The Democrats are saying, man, we should have just let him have his way. We would have had him gone. But I said, the saddest thing is I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. I tried to claim 250 years too, but that didn't work. They said, that one is what it is. No, I tried, but it didn't work. But wait. So I got him. I was so proud of it. And then I realized that, I wouldn't be president during that because I would have been out of office by that time. I felt badly. The beautiful thing about what I did is I ran. I never thought of it. And then all of a sudden I realized, I just got the Olympics, and I totally got that myself. And I just got FIFA. I got that myself. We gave a little piece to Canada, gave a little piece to Mexico. I got that myself. And a lot of people helped, like that man right there, Kevin.
So the whole world gets to see how Donald Trump and all of his MAGA supporters have to cheat at everything in order to gain power, keep power, or come out on top. Donald Trump calling the head of FIFA to remove the red card from the American team going into the game today with Belgium. Oh my God. Can you imagine? The head of FIFA, first of all, absolutely was going to say yes. If you've ever seen him in Donald Trump's presence, you would think he's willing to put knee pads on. And I am being brutally honest with that comment. He cannot contain himself. He's so in love and enamored with Trump. It's so gross. So, of course, the guy says, sure, I'll remove the red card from the black guy who's an immigrant here, who plays for Team USA. But just imagine, Belgium is appealing it. But just imagine they don't win that appeal. And the U.S. goes on to win this whole thing. Donald Trump just made us the laughingstock throughout history. He is cementing himself in MAGA throughout history that America did not really win the World Cup. We had to cheat. We had to cheat. Disgusting.
So why is corruption bad? Well, you watch the World Cup, see what happened. The American who got the red card is not suspended for the next game. Why is that? It's because President Trump made a phone call. He's corrupt, and he called the president of FIFA, who's also corrupt, and said, hey, let our guy in. Now, for every other country in the world, is that fair? No, it isn't. So when you think of corruption, you think, corruption doesn't really affect me. It does. It raises your pricing, and it lowers the quality of goods that you get from a government standpoint. So when Trump's sons win a contract, they don't win because it's a superior product at a lower price. They win because of the Trump name, and the American taxpayer foots a bill for an inferior product that's more expensive. That's what corruption is. Corruption is also creating a meme coin, selling it quickly, and then ripping off everyone else who bought it. So he's corrupt. Corrupt is accepting a Qatari plane that's worth $400 million.
Well, Trump just put a target on that ref's back. He went out on national television and is now claiming that the ref is somehow corrupt, has a questionable background. He has no idea what soccer and football and the World Cup means to everyone else, because he would know that making a statement like that is extremely dangerous. There are countries around the world that take this extremely seriously. There are countries around the world that don't just treat it like a sports activity. It's everything to them. He has ruined the World Cup for everyone right now because he could not stand that for a couple of days the world would be talking about something other than himself. He doesn't care if the U.S. team actually wins or not. He doesn't care about Balogun. He was ready to take away his birthright citizenship last week. I feel really bad for the U.S. team because they don't deserve to be thrusted into this controversy for no reason. Because the rest of the world is angry and pissed off. He took the one thing that was supposed to bring us together as a world for just a couple of weeks, and he ruined it because he ruins everything. I'm disgusted.
Corruption is corrosion. Donald Trump's corruption is so commonplace, we can become desensitized to it. It's just everywhere all the time. And he makes it seem political. So we're not unifying on the fact that it is damaging to our country. In your house, if your plumbing, if your sewer lines corrode and it backs up and spills into your bathroom and your living room and your yard, you know you have a problem. We all innately understand corrosion is bad. Donald Trump is a corrosive force. Look at the World Cup, the U.S. men's national team. He corruptly got the red card rescinded, and that corroded several factors with the U.S. men's team. First of all, they had been preparing for days for their best man not to be on the pitch. So, mentally, what are you doing? I'm going to have to rise up. Somebody else is going to have to step forward. In the same way we lost him for 20, 30 minutes in the last game, we're going to have to elevate our game. The U.S. came out flat. Why? Because all that psychic energy got turned over. He corroded their path. Meanwhile, what's the men's national team supposed to do? The red card's been rescinded corruptly. Are we supposed to sit him voluntarily? That doesn't actually take care of the suspension, and the coach is paid to put the best team on the field, so he can't do it. Is it the head of the federation who does it? Would the team be split on whether he should play or shouldn't play? If he's not playing, are we thinking about that? He has corroded their focus. Now, if the U.S. men's team is like imagining victory and their best player, their best goal scorer, scores a goal, and they win by 1, they know that it will be called tainted. So now they're like, oh, we have to rise up. We have to win by 2. We have to make sure it's not just him. And I'm not suggesting that those players aren't professionals who know how to block out the noise. I am saying it is a fact that that vision of victory has been corroded. It corroded their focus on the game. And here, right here, is Balogun after the game talking to the Belgian coach being like, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Because he doesn't want the taint of corruption on him. This is immediately after the game. That tells you it is on their mind. Donald Trump corroded the focus and energy of the U.S. men's national team. And we see what happens when he corrodes things.
The curse of Donald Trump continues. He's undefeated. Trump personally called FIFA to get striker Folarin Balogun cleared to play. And hours later, the USA got crushed by Belgium 4-1, an embarrassment, and knocked out of the World Cup. The Chiefs, the Commanders, Miami, the Knicks, the Ryder Cup team, and now the entire U.S. men's national team. Everything he touches, he loses. Things die, okay? If you agree, it's time for Donald J. Trump to go away. Follow me and let's 8647 and get rid of that criminal in the White House.
Hey, so you know that guy at the bar screaming that the ref is blind and the game is rigged? Yeah, now give him nuclear weapons and the FIFA President's cell number. That's what happened Sunday at the World Cup. Donald Trump didn't like a call, so he called FIFA and had it overturned. And here's the kicker. Pun intended. I'm proud of that one. He didn't even know what he was overturning. His words to reporters, quote, I didn't know what the hell a red card was. This is the man who told us to fight COVID by injecting bleach. He doesn't learn the thing, he overrules the thing. And this week, the thing was soccer. Oh, for the 5 of you who don't watch soccer, a red card is the worst thing a referee could do to you. You're thrown out, your team finishes a man short, and you're banned from the next game. It's the nuclear option, and it almost never gets reversed. No World Cup red card had been reversed like this in over 16 years. Until Trump picked up the phone. U.S. striker Folarin Balogun had got his for breaking his cleats down a Bosnian defender's shin. My dude, you cannot fillet a man's leg and call it a misunderstanding. Andrew Giuliani, who runs the White House World Cup task force on the strength of being Rudy's kid and golfing with the president, called FIFA President Gianni Infantino directly. Then Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick called Infantino. President Trump called Infantino. A man his own staff reportedly can't drag out of bed before noon, wide awake at dawn, blitzing the World Cup like the Bosnian backline was an incoming missile. Then Trump gave reporters his own breakdown of the play. Quote, "That wasn't even an infraction. That was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other." Yeah, that's rugby. You're thinking of rugby. In soccer, running full speed into a guy is the entire reason the card exists. But Trump decided the referee was, quote, "a bit suspect if you check his past." That guy is Rafael Klaus of Brazil, one of the most respected officials in the sport. Meanwhile, his own administration blocked another World Cup ref, Omar Artan of Somalia, from entering the country at all. At this pace, Trump will just deport every referee at the tournament to point his own. He'd probably love that. And here's the irony, so perfect it hurts. Balogun is the birthright citizen son of Nigerian immigrants, the exact thing Trump is clawing to destroy. Trump's movement wants this kid's family deported, right up until his cleats can win a game, and I'm sure they're all betting on it. And Infantino said yes, because he needs Trump. Most of this tournament is on U.S. soil, so he spends every day praying Trump keeps the borders open enough for the team to even get in. Before the World Cup, he handed Trump a made-up trophy called the FIFA Peace Prize for a man who is bombing boats in the Caribbean, bombing Iran through his own ceasefire, and this morning demanded the U.S. annex Greenland. Again. You do not tell the man hosting your trillion-dollar party that he's out of line. But then Trump took a victory lap, his favorite thing to do before actually winning anything. He spiked the ball and dragged in a man who had nothing to do with any of this. Quote, "I'm the one that got them to do it. It was not Biden." Biden. Unprompted. And he knew it was rigged because before kickoff, he already had his excuse loaded. Quote, "If they beat us, we'll say it was rigged just like the election was rigged in 2020. He rigged the card, then pre-rigged the tantrum. And then, despite the phone calls, the task force, and the first reversed red card in 60 years, the Trump curse rolled in right on schedule. Belgium beat the United States 4-1. He bent a global tournament with his bare hands, ruined the World Cup for billions who just wanted a fair game, put his golden striker back on the field, and still got run off it by 3 goals. Everything Donald Trump touches, he breaks, and then loses anyways. That is not a soccer story. That is the story of this presidency.
There are things a president should spend his time on: national security, the economy, and then there is what Trump did this week, personally phoning FIFA President Gianni Infantino to complain about a red card. Not a treaty, a red card. American striker Folarin Balogun had picked one up for stepping on an opponent's ankle during a win over Bosnia and Herzegovina, triggering an automatic 1-game suspension with no appeal, a rule that is held for over 60 years of World Cup history. Except Trump does not do full stop. He called Infantino directly. White House World Cup Task Force Director Andrew Giuliani and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick piled on too. Days later, FIFA's disciplinary committee dug up an obscure rule and suspended the suspension, clearing Balogun to play Belgium in the round of 16. For the first time in 6 decades, a straight red card simply evaporated, right on schedule for the host nation's biggest match. Belgium's Football Federation said it was astonished and is exploring legal options. Even England's manager publicly questioned the transparency of the whole thing. None of this happened in a vacuum either. Infantino gave Trump a made-up FIFA Peace Prize back in December and reportedly handed him $15,000 in tickets to last year's Club World Cup final. Now, conveniently, a 60-year-old rule bends exactly when it benefits both men. Trump naturally took a victory lap on social media, thanking FIFA for reversing what he called a great injustice. A great injustice over a missed match for a clumsy foul. None of this is on Balogun, who did not ask for the circus. It is on the adults who decided a supposedly neutral tournament should bend because the host nation's president picked up a phone. That is not a great sign for the next country hosting anything Trump wants a piece of.
Hey, just so we're clear, I don't give a Frenchman's freshly fried fuck about soccer, but I am going to go ahead and blame Team USA losing tonight on the Fanta Fascists calling them folks at FIFA and getting that suspension lifted. Because, and well, I'm going to quote old epic rap battles of history. That's a throwback for y'all YouTube folks. Everything he does is an epic fail. From Operation Epstein Fury to trying to fuck with the World Cup, it all falls to pieces. Quite frankly, if he wasn't actively fucking up my country and the future for my kids, it would be fucking hilarious. But you know, fascist regime and all, so ain't shit funny about it. Anyways, I am officially back. I am off of vacation, back full of piss and vinegar. So, yeah, I'm sure you will be seeing lots of my face again. Anyways, fuck the Fanta-fascists, and, well, y'all have you a wonderful rest of your evening, or at least the one you voted for deserved. Just do me one favor. Keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth, and remember that the golden rule will always remain, yeehaw, fuck the law. Love y'all. See you down the line.
So now the President of the United States is intervening with FIFA World Cup decisions? Is this something new? Because I know it's never been done. A sitting president getting involved with what calls are being made at a FIFA World Cup game, as in calling to get a red card suspension removed. So he's involved in that now. Something else that does not concern him. Again, this president is always involved in someone else's business but his own. Now, even if that player really did get the red card suspension, or if he didn't deserve it, Trump has no business calling to intervene with whatever decision was made. Again, how does that concern him? So now if this team go ahead and win against, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Belgium he's supposed to play today on Monday, July 6th? Now, if he go ahead and win, then they're going to say it was cheating. It wasn't fair. This player had a 1-game suspension. But because Trump intervened, it just gets thrown out the window. Again, no business of his.
Let's talk about FIFA. Let's talk about FIFA. There's a lot of, I guess you could say, controversy around this whole
100%.
U.S. team playing Belgium and what we've been seeing with one particular player here.
Yes,
right?
the star.
Yeah, what's going on there?
So he received a red card
in the previous match
against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, if you receive a red card, automatically you're suspended for the next match. But there are exceptions to that suspension being tabled.
Yeah. And our reporting is that President Trump made a call to the FIFA president himself. Interesting enough, of course, he did win that FIFA World Prize, or Peace Prize. So certainly there is a lot of interesting sort of
the
questions
strange
about
relationship.
The relationship around that. And then, of course,
and then the president thanked him.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you all for stopping by. Now let's get into the video. This story has quickly become one of the biggest talking points of the World Cup. The controversy started after US striker Folarin Balogun received a red card that meant he would normally miss the next match through suspension. But in a surprising turn of events, FIFA later suspended the one-match ban, allowing Balogun to remain available for selection. The decision came after President Trump confirmed he had asked FIFA President Gianni Infantino to review the incident, although FIFA has said the final disciplinary decision was made by its independent judicial process. As you can imagine, social media exploded. Many fans believe the decision was unfair, arguing that red card suspension are supposed to be applied consistently regardless of which team is involved. Some supporters of other national teams questioned why this case received different treatment and said it could undermine confidence in the competition. On the other hand, many USA supporters argued that the original red card was too harsh in the first place. They believe the review corrected what they saw as an unfair decision, and the Balogun deserves to be available for the next match. What really caught my attention is how this story has gone far beyond football. It is no longer just about one tackle or one player. It has become a discussion about fairness, consistency, transparency, and whether politics should ever appear to intersect with major sporting decisions. Whether you agree with FIFA's decision or disagree with it, one thing is certain: people expect the rules to be applied consistently. That is why this story has generated strong reaction from fans, players, and football organizations around the world. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think FIFA made the right decision by allowing Balogun to play? Or do you believe the original suspension should have remained in place? Share your thoughts in the comment below. And as always, let's keep the discussion respectful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.